Hi, I'm Brittney Levine. I am an on-air style and trend expert, and I go on various different morning shows ranging from the Today Show to Wendy Williams to Extra Inside Edition, talking about all of the hottest, latest and greatest items that you have to have in your closet. I do a lot of fashion segments, style segments, makeovers, as well as different beauty segments. And I also work with the home line, Berkshire Blanket on QVC. Our season is starting up in about a month and goes till about January. So we do a ton of airings and talk about our fabulous blankets from that time. And so great to be with you all. Wanted to come on and talk about media kits and the importance of media kits, and why, if you're looking to contact different brands and work with different brands, why you have to have one to really differentiate yourself and really make yourself come off as professional as possible. I knew that when I started working with different brands and they started to contact me about working together on collaborations or different segments or different Instagram, social media things that they wanted, I knew that I wanted to send them back something that came off professional, organized, detailed, everything in there so that they knew all about me. And if it wasn't the right fit at that time, that potentially when something did come up, they could reference that, bring that back up again, see if numbers had changed and whatnot. So a media kit, what it is, really defines who you are. You are telling a brand, a company, a product, everything about you, a little bit of a description, as well as your personal demographics. So your social media numbers, where your followers are located, what shows or press you've garnered, whether it be a product that you have or you represent, or just personally where you've contributed, what you've been on, what shows you've been on. So that kind of defines what a media kit is, and really also showcases everything about you and who you are in a nutshell. Mine is, I believe, 3 to 4 condensed pages of a PDF that you can scroll through, but we attach it to an email, we put it together, and we send them to all different brands. So really, again, the importance of why you need one is to put yourself and differentiate yourself from the rest. I can't tell you how many people will just send, their numbers, their followers to different brands that I've seen in emails, and it doesn't look like it's put together. It looks, immature, if you will. It doesn't look like you're a professional. So that is something why you need to really have this all put together in one thing that you can easily send off to. And then as you start working with more and more brands, it's something that you can reference and just put it in an email, send it off. And if the brand decides they want to work together, great. Again, if not, they can reference it. So just to further define what goes into a media kit. For me, it's a little bit of a description about who I am, my background, where I started and what I do. Exactly what I kind of referenced before. And then kind of going into all of my different demographics, number of followers, where my followers are located, who are those central followers, demographics, male, female, and then as well as, my consistency, my engagement levels, things like that. So really kind of profiling that with a little bit of a screenshot of each. And then I've also gone on to include some testimonials of past brands that I've worked with in the past, 1 or 2, so that these new brands that I could potentially be working with or featured on their sites, whatnot, they could see that I've had great experiences in the past and hopefully we'd love to work together. And then finally, I also include press and what and where I've been featured. So I typically take some of the icons of those shows or the mastheads of that magazine. So for example, it would be the actual logo of, say, Cosmopolitan or say Reader's Digest, and have those featured as well on a page to say, as seen in X, Y, and Z. For me, when I first started, I actually composed my media kit, I believe it was on PowerPoint, and then also on Canva, kind of adding to it. And now I have, a more of a design firm, because I'm a firm believer, if you don't have those capabilities and if it's not something that you can do personally, find the best person that could do that for you. And it doesn't have to be so expensive. It doesn't have to be something where you're killing your wallet. I've also known a lot of people to do things on a barter. So if you happen to have a great skill in, say, editing, video editing, and one of your friends happens to have great skills in design, barter something. Say, can you make a media kit for me and I can edit this video for you, or edit these reels for you. I've known a lot of people to be able to do that, and I do that with a lot of products so that we can always work together and see what makes the most sense. But yeah, it's not something where you have to spend an arm and a leg, so I don't feel that if you're doing it yourself it's a bad thing. I think it's great. But if you do want to start working with more of a design team, someone who has more of an aesthetic, who can create a logo for you, maybe they have the capabilities to also put together a media kit. And last but not least, any media training tips since I've started TV. For me, I had never actually gone through real media training, just because I had been working with a lot of my clients and representing them through PR before I put them on TV. So I really knew the ins and outs of each of them. I had some experience going on with an incredible beauty expert. So I had seen a lot of the inner workings of how segments were put together, how she interacted with producers. So I had that good fortune to be able to do that before going on. But I also had to learn. And my biggest thing is getting help from those who do it better than you do. So I enlisted Barbara Abel, who has an incredible class. She, was able to really work with me. I did a group session and took a lot of her tips from there. And then before going on QVC, I worked with another coach who helped me, Mark Labraghi, who helped me to kind of master more of the QVC way of selling. And it was a personal investment. The company I worked with at the time, they made it a part of their whole thing to get that coaching. But then I went on with him to do it myself, because I really felt strongly in seeking out that help, learning the different ways and ins and outs of how to do it on QVC, because it is a different type of TV than any other type of TV that I've ever done before. So that really, really helped me. And then, as hard as it is, I really recommend watching yourself. It is the hardest thing to do. I hate watching myself. It's terrible. But by watching yourself, you do see a lot of the little idiosyncrasies that happen while you're on camera. When I first started going on camera, I would do this bob thing that my family would totally make fun of me for. I don't know why. Whenever they were introducing me in the segment, I would just go like this and shake. It was a little nervous tick, but I would have never known that had I not looked back and seen, wow, this is what I'm doing. I need to sit still. I need to be stationary and become more composed. So that helped, as well as really, for me, writing down a lot of those key words about what you're going to be saying, because you really do need to be practiced. And I'm still that person that's up till God knows what at night, making sure I really know the ins and outs of what I'm going to say, even having done, numerous segments at this point. But I really want to be sure I'm practiced and put everything into everything that I'm doing, because when I don't feel prepared, it's not a great feeling, and it's not great to go on live television with that feeling, in your stomach and in your heart. So those are just a couple of my tips that I really recommend doing. And I hope that if you do have any questions, or any want to connect with Barbara Abel or Mark Labraghi, two of the coaches that I've worked with over the years, I would love to connect you. They're fabulous people. And please feel free to reach out via Instagram, my handle at Brittney H. Levine, or on my website, BrittneyHLevine.com, because I'd love to connect there and to continue to learn more about you and your products and all that you do. Thanks so much.